Exodus chapter 26. The tabernacle itself you are to make with 10 sheets of fine twined linen, of purple wood, violet shade, and red, and of crimson wool. You are to have these sheets finely embroidered with cherubs. The length of a single sheet is to be 28 cubits, its width 4 cubits, all the sheets to be of the same size. 5 of the sheets must be sewed together, and in the same way the other 5 sheets must be sewed together. You must attach loops of violet wool to the border of the last sheet in one set, and do the same for the border of the last sheet in the other set. You are to put 50 loops on the first sheet, and matching them one by one 50 loops on the border of the last sheet in the second set. And you are to make 50 gold clasps to draw the sheets together. In this way, the tabernacle will be a unified whole. You are to make sheets of goat's hair to form a cover over the tabernacle. There will be 11 sheets. The length of a single sheet is to be 30 cubits, its width 4 cubits. All the 11 sheets are to be of the same size. You must sew 5 of these sheets together into one sheet, the remaining 6 into another. The 6th you will fold double over the front of the cover. You must attach 50 loops to the border of the last sheet in one set, and do the same for the border of the last sheet in the second set. You must make 50 bronze clasps and put them into one of the loops so as to draw the tent together to form one unit. One sheet of the cover will be left over, half of which will hang over the back of the tabernacle. This extra cubit is to hang over on either side of the tabernacle as a covering for it. For the tent, you will make 2 coverings, one of ram skin dyed red, and another covering of fine leather, which you will spread over it. You are to make frames of acacia wood for the tabernacle, which will stand upright. Each frame is to be 10 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. Each frame shall have 2 arms that shall serve to fasten the frames in line. For all the frames of the tabernacle you must do this. There will be 20 frames for the southern side of the tabernacle. You are to make 40 silver bases for putting under the 20 frames, 2 bases under the first frame to receive its 2 matching arms, and so on for the other frames. The other side of the tabernacle on the north is to have also 20 frames, supported by 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. For the back of the tabernacle on the west, you must make 6 frames, and also 2 frames for the corners at the back of the tabernacle. These frames must be joined at the bottom and also at the top up to the level of the first frame, and the same for the 2 frames that are to form the 2 corners. So there will be 8 frames with their 16 silver bases, 2 bases under the first frame and 2 bases under the next frame. You are to make 5 crossbars of acacia wood to hold together the frames for one side of the tabernacle, and 5 to hold the frames that form the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 to hold the frames at the western side of the tabernacle. They will run halfway up the frames from one end to the other. Cover the frames with gold and make gold rings to hold the crossbars. This is how you are to set up the tabernacle according to the model shown to you on the mountain. You are to make a veil of purple wool, violet shade and red, of crimson wool, and of fine twined linen. You are to have it finely embroidered with cherubs. You are to hang it on 4 posts of acacia wood, covered with gold and furnished with gold clasps, and set in 4 silver bases. You must hang the veil from the clasps, and there, behind the veil, you must place the ark of the testimony, and the veil will serve to separate the holy place from the holy of holies. The mercy seat you must place on the top of the ark of the testimony, inside the holy of holies. Outside the veil you shall set the table and the lampstand on the south side of the tabernacle, opposite the table, for the table will be on the north side. Finally, for the entrance to the tent, you are to make a screen of purple wool, violet shade and red, and of crimson stuffs, and fine twined linen, the work of a skilled weaver. And you shall have for this curtain 5 posts of acacia wood, covered with golden hooks. For these you are to cast 5 bronze bases.